They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs. Eat the cat. 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 They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. Eat the cat.
And ABC News did reach out to the city manager there. He told us there have been no credible reports of specific claims of pets being harmed, injured, or abused by individuals within the immigrant community.
People on television.
Let me just say here, this is
the people on television say my dog was taken and used for food. So maybe he said that, and maybe that's a good thing to say for a city manager.
I'm not taking this from
but
television.
The people on television say the dog was eaten by the people that went there.
Again, the Springfield city manager says there's no evidence of that. Vice President Harris, I'll let you respond to the rest of what you've heard.
You talk about extreme.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
So, I figured that was a good intro for this morning.
Yeah, man, I agree with Harry here. It's a hell of a beat too.
It is, man. Justin knows how to drop a wicked beat.
Yeah, he does. You wouldn't think it by looking at him. You think he knows how to drive a wicked tractor. Yeah.
What's happening down south? I'm okay. What's happening down there?
I don't know, man. Not much. I got an eye doctor appointment today. Well, I was just doing shit around here. I'm excited to get glasses again. It's been like a year since I lost my last pair, and just I don't know, for some reason didn't bother to go get new ones. But yeah, I'll be excited to be able to see again.
Probably because they still cost so much, even with insurance.
Yeah, my insurance doesn't cover glasses for shit. It's supposed to cover like some of like my eye exam, but man, so I got to get like a referral from my primary care, so insurance will pay for my eye exam, right?
Really?
Like, yeah, it's for pretty much anything. I have to get a referral, you know. So like even like my heart, like something I've had my whole life, I have to get a referral from my primary care to go see my cardiologist that I go see every year. It's fucking retarded, but you know, whatever. So
that's the American healthcare system.
It's great, man. At least they didn't offer to kill me. You know, not directly anyhow.
You know,
it's not Canadian healthcare, thank God.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll have to. There's a. Okay, sorry. A note for something we gotta talk about. Anyhow, so like the eye doctor's like, yeah, you know, I'll fax over the shit. Just give them a call and make sure that they get it, so you know we can get you in tomorrow. And I'm like, yeah, no problem. So I wait a little while. I call my primary care doctor. The lady's just like such a bitch, dude. I'm like, yeah, here's my deal. Here's a doctor I'm going to see. And I just want to know if, you know, you guys got the information and if, you know, get a referral. And she's like, well, I couldn't give you a referral without knowing this, that, the other, like number. I'm like, yeah, like I get that. Like,
I'm blind, bitch. Give me the freaking referral.
I know, man. All I was saying was just keep an eye out for it. It's supposed to be coming through. This is my name. This is the doctor it's coming from. This is my eye doctor. Just keep an eye out for it. That's all I'm asking. And she's got to give me all these reasons why I'm, you know, I don't know why she can't do her fucking job. Anyhow, God damn, I am getting fucking old. I'm just bitching about my eye doctor experience.
Like, I mean, the eye insurance that we have through my wife's work is like none of that stuff. You just go in, you do the exam. You get the glasses. They cover. When last time I got my glasses, I got like $600 frames and stuff, and they were free. I didn't pay.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, I mean, we got great coverage. But like you don't have to go through that whole referral crap or any of that stuff. So it's
ultimately it's like my insurance is gonna save me like $50. So if it's too much of a pain in the ass, I'll just pay the fucking $50. I think last time I went, insurance was hassling me for something, and I was just like, "Fuck it," because the exam's like $100. It's like,
do you have a Costco membership?
What?
Do you have a Costco? Actually, you don't even need one. Go to Costco. They have you get the eye exam for like $70, and their glasses are dirt cheap.
That's cool. I've been thinking about getting back into the the bulk stores. I used to do Sam's Club.
You actually don't need a membership to do
Sam's
the
Club.
eyeglasses there.
Yeah, but I think I want one anyhow. Don't talk me out of it.
I actually I really like
he wants to
Costco.
buy his feed and stuff in bulk. Like
I like Costco more than I like Sam's Club. Sam's Club is definitely the redheaded stepchild of the bulk stores.
well,
Yeah, it's the only one that
Sorry, Trey. I didn't mean that as a swipe.
Yeah. Yeah, ouch.
racism, casual racism.
Yes. Well, it is Black History Month, so
Yep, full of racism, and racism is funny. But you know what? Isn't
Irish
funny?
people are the black people of Europe, I guess.
yeah, right. What
That
isn't
is
funny
true.
there, Dag?
Oh, I was gonna say child custody battles. That's not funny.
What do you want?
I've come for Katie.
What? I've not had her an hour yet.
You've had her exactly an hour, and that's what we agreed.
All right, take her then. Just bloody look after her. Do you hear me? Look after her, you selfish cow.
Darling, we're going to have to think about getting Katie a new piano teacher.
That's awesome.
Fuck.
That's funny. Oh gosh.
Yeah, that slayed me. So, I don't know if you guys were present in the GC the other day when I was trying to explain the concept of gay mouth to Mark. I know I've talked about it on the show before. You guys familiar with mine and Wayne's theory? Really, more Wayne's theory. He's the ringleader, but I think he's right on. We sort of perfected it. But the theory about gay mouth.
No.
Okay.
Talking
So
about
basically-
like how gay guys,
It's
they're
subtle.
certain
It's in the
way-
corners of the mouth, right here.
yeah
Is
Yeah,
where you
okay.
see it, and
yeah.
it's once
Was it
the
like
penis
Down
enters the
syndrome
mouth.
for gays?
What's that?
Like, like Down syndrome, you kind of get that look in the face. Is this like that for
Yeah,
gays?
it's very subtle, and once we do, and they start looking for it, and they see it, like, oh my god, it's crazy, and it's you can almost like hear it in like the effeminate voice. And anyhow, the example that I used to show Mark what I was talking about, because it's a good way to pick out like like gay guys on the DL, right? And so like guys with like wives and kids and shit. And I showed him a picture of this guy here, this Todd Chrisley, and just a photo. And Mark, good enough. Oh yeah, that's definitely a homosexual man, just by a photo, But oh, here, hold on. It'd help if I share.
Yeah,
it.
you're gonna show that picture because I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
I have no idea.
I'm working on it.
Okay.
This guy. And
Oh,
it's
yeah.
in the corners
Oh,
of the
yeah.
mouth.
Oh yeah.
You can tell by looking at him, he sort of talks kind of effeminately. And I mean, never mind the frosted tips. But it's the corner of the mouth here. Anyhow, I hit TMZ this morning to try and pull us up a good article. And fucking first thing on the fucking site this morning was this dude. After again, just talking about this a couple days ago. He went to prison for fraud or some shit. He had some stupid TV show called like Chrisley Knows Best or something. Some reality show, and me and Wayne used to make fun of it because he's just such a fucking homo. And no offense to actual gays, but this guy's fucking homo. And then ended up going some fraud thing, goes to prison, but he's talking about his horrible experience in prison. One of which is the guards ripped his pro-Trump sticker that he had inside his cell off of his cell and took it from him. Took away the one thing that brought him joy. Let's see. Todd Chrisley's attorney says his client's being extremely mistreated behind bars.
Trump.
Yeah, well, it's funny because of course TMZ is going to be like not pro-Trump, pretty much no matter what. So, of course, this is probably hilarious to them because then he's a Trump supporter, which makes him extra awful. Chrisley told him about a bunch of
hate gays though.
Well, he's not, he's not officially gay, he's got a wife and kids and shit, but we all know he's a fucking homo. Todd's attorney says other inmates have stickers in their cells, but Todd's was the only one that was removed. He believes the guards are against him because he supports Trump. Now, this is Florida. I'm going to go out on a limb and say the guards are very pro-Trump. The COs, just Maybe not all. You know, I guess I don't know where in Florida he is, but
Yeah, I mean, if it's like Miami, then I would say like Miami-Dade. I would probably say
yeah,
no.
maybe there's a possibility that they're not. But I mean, every CEO I've ever known has been pretty, like, you know, politically Republican. You know, definitely. And you know, they were all in Florida, so yeah, just a thing. Okay, he's serving out a 12-year sentence for bank fraud and tax evasion. Oh man, I love him for the tax evasion, though. I gotta say that. He's hoping for a pardon from Trump.
That's why. Okay, so now we know why he actually said this, because it has nothing to do with the fact that they ripped down the sticker. It's his way to get Trump's attention to get.
Because if it pisses off Trump,
yeah,
because Trump thinks that they're singling him out or giving him some sort of poor treatment. Trump, I mean. Then he's you know, he might get upset about it. That's hilarious.
Like his selfishness will kick in and be like,
his
ego,
I don't know what the word is. It's not vanity. It's not. I mean, ego. I guess it's just his Trumpiness. It's like it's its own thing. You know, it's just his.
It's not just like pure arrogance. Is the funny thing is because it's like because he's doing like what you would consider like sometimes like selfless things.
Yeah,
but it's for people who support him, so it's like,
hopefully.
I mean, you got to admit though that the whole January 6th stuff, like, that was necessary.
Oh yeah.
I mean, what was the statistic that they said that they had like 5,000 agents that were just investigating the January 6th stuff, like 5,000 agents.
5,000 agents are probably gone now. Did you see that they got their sent a bunch of notices to people in the FBI, and if you know, basically they have they're gonna either take their severance package or they're gonna be gone anyway.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool, probably.
But
yeah,
with all this stuff going on and my hatred for our government's IRS. There was a report that came out that said that the IRS has had access to every American's bank account, which I've known this because I've had them put money in my account without me asking, especially during COVID. They've had you just had all of a sudden one day you just have money in your account, like, from the government.
Like, wow, IRS sent me money.
Yeah. So, but they're saying
they've had this. It's like, so they've had this power. Like, what are they?
So they're saying it's a violation of the Fourth Amendment.
Yeah, I mean, the idea of the income tax is a violation of the Fourth and Fifth Amendment.
I mean, it's a violation
just in its very existence.
Yeah. But the fact that they've had access to all of our accounts and nobody's really said much, but they're going after it now, so I do appreciate that.
Yeah, man, what pissed me off about what pissed me off about the IRS, I had to, you know, deal with them for IRS shit, and not a big deal, but it's like, okay, every year, like, to get like logged back in, like, they need more and more information from you to, you know, because of scammers, right? They got to get more information from you. And I had a guy on the phone one time, he's like, yeah, like, something about like, you know, like, oh yeah, because their data got hacked, so now they need more data from you. And it's like, okay, so you're already irresponsible with my shit, and now you need more of my shit, is what you're telling me.
Yeah.
You know? And even said, oh yeah, I probably shouldn't have said that. I was like, yeah, no shit, you shouldn't have said that to a quote unquote what they call us customers.
Yeah. I'm a forced customer. Like, nothing is out of my own free will here.
Oh shit.
What are you gonna do? To my head saying, "Give me money, bitch."
Like, if I don't, you know, pay, then, you know, I kind of go to jail. So
the key is to not make money.
Yeah.
That's the trick.
On paper, anyway. On paper.
Hey.
No, we're just all very poor around here.
Yes, I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, it's a miracle I managed to put food on the table.
Why do you think I own 2 businesses?
We're just poor farmers. We're sustenance farmers around here. We don't make no money. We just live off of our meager land.
We're bartering. You know, we're here.
Dude, I do got to say though, man,
bartering now too.
Technically, if you services, if you trade, you're supposed to report that shit, even if it's not for money. you're technically like supposed to fucking report it. It's
I wish they would make
technically.
the. I wish they'd
You're
make
also
the
supposed to
senators-
report your illegal
So-
dealings. You're
I wish
supposed,
they would
you're
make-
supposed to report your drug money.
Why
Also,
don't
which
they
is
make the
hilarious.
senators do that? They're all getting special favors.
I love
for
that they
votes.
put that on the website though too. That was the
Mhm.
funniest thing is that they put it on the website. Like even you have
Jeez.
to report everything to the IRS, even illicit, or illicitly earned money or something like that. I was like, why are you putting that on?
That's the old Capone clause, man. That's how they got him for
Well,
not reporting his bootlegging money.
Well, and the thing is, and then they can go after you and say, well, we told them they had to report this, so now it's like 16 extra charges on top of it because
Money
they didn't
laundering.
report it. No,
Yep.
but they'll just be they'll charge you for not doing it. They'll charge you for lying about not doing it. They'll
Mhm.
charge you for lying about not doing it.
Conspiracy to lie about
Yeah.
lying about it.
Yeah, and then
Yep.
they'll just that's how they add 16 more charges so that they can go, well, hey, look, we'll take it down to this one charge of what it actually should be, and you just pay a small fine, and we'll be good with you.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with actually doing what's right. It has everything to do with like, let's bend you over and ram you until now.
Until you take it.
Till you beg
actually-
for mercy, and then say
Until
we'll
it
say,
fits.
okay, we'll give
Until-
you some
until-
mercy.
Federal pound me in the ass government.
Yeah. I mean, Dag, you have to admit, hopefully there are good things going to happen with Trump and cutting IRS agents and
that
cutting
would be very
government.
cool.
Like that would be great. I'm really hoping that he actually does all he says he's doing. That's all.
Yep. Yep. No, I agree.
Supposedly, there's going to be they're going to dismantle the Department of Education.
That would be very dope as
That
well.
one is-
Oh, did you see that video I posted in the group?
No.
Oh, let me find it. Where'd it go?
It was like RFK's like confirmation shit, and they're like, "You're just here to do the bidding of Trump," or whatever. And it's like,
I'm like, yeah,
Yeah,
Trump doesn't
he's
give
the
a fuck
boss.
about any of that shit, But it's like, dude, there, goddamn, I hope he manages to do something. I mean, that's kind of like the health stuff and food stuff has kind of been like my big, thing for the past decade of my life. Doing the farm and everything, came as a result of that. So yes, I'm very, very on board for anything that he does. Now, of course, there's always in the back of my mind that anything the government does inevitably comes back to bite you in the ass and be way worse. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen, but that's why I'm hoping things get cut. If things get cut, instead of just stacking legislation on top of old legislation, I think we have better chances. So anytime
Yeah,
things
that's-
can get done away with, I'm happy.
yeah. That's why I like the whole like Trump's thing or whatever is like if you introduce a new regulation, you get to repeal 10 old legislation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, shit like that. I love because that's really like a lot of the big like bureaucratic bullshit is all the old stuff that doesn't even apply anymore.
Because here's what
But
happens.
it still applies.
Is when you stack it and you say like, hey, let's just say we want to make, let's just say raw milk was
Blowback Mountain. Yes, exactly, Carlos. Thank you. Oh fuck. Hams, yams, potatoes, beans, clams, malls.
So
Oh, that's not that video. Sorry.
so no,
Oh,
I wish
but-
it was. No, but this is like
That's what I don't want to put the audio over that video.
this is reason alone to get rid of the Department of Education.
dude, NAEA is evil.
Win all the things. NEA, we have to win all the things. All the things. All the things.
She's like not even saying anything. It's just we have to win all the things. What does that even mean?
What is that organization? Is that like the teachers union or something?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
Oh, they're the
that's
worst.
National Teachers Union.
Yeah.
Oh, even worse.
Yep.
Yeah, but like what you were saying though, Dag, is that if you introduce a new legislation of like, let's say we're talking about raw milk, or I'm gonna legislate that you are allowed to have raw milk. Previously maybe you're not, like maybe there's regulations and all this kind of stuff around raw milk nationally. So I introduced this legislation like, okay, like make raw milk free again or something. Make
Make raw milk free again.
Yeah. Like we're gonna unleash the raw milk production, blah blah blah. And then if I have that legislation about raw milk and I say that okay, in the legislation it says raw milk consumption is now allowed in all these 50 states, whatever. Then all of a sudden you look back at the other conflicting like legislation that says like, hey, well, it's not allowed. Like we have these regulations around it, and then they conflict with each other, and you just can't have them both together because they don't work. Like they're always going to be at odds with each other.
Right.
And so that's where you have to pull.
And it's also like, like I don't want a federal law decreeing that raw milk has to be legal in every state. I just want to get rid of the old raw milk is illegal like legislation. You know what I mean? Like just 86 that and then go back to court. I'd still want every state to make the decision to allow people to, have that product. But, ultimately,
I don't want the
Thomas
state
Jefferson
to tell
in
me.
Let them, take it back down to the
live
state.
In a commie state. That's just
I don't want because my state sucks. I don't want them to do that. I don't want them to have that right.
I just want the federal government to be small. If it's gotta exist.
So here,
not tell me about my milk.
That's the dilemma. Is like, I really want the feds to step in and tell the state to go pound sand on that issue.
That if you just not live in a commie state, Steve.
Well, that's also like because I feel you, Steve. But here's the thing, is that there are going to be plenty of people, no matter what, who want to live in a state where they tell them they make sure their food is nice and safe for them.
Okay, they have California and New York. That's it.
Yeah,
stay there.
I feel you.
Go anywhere else.
So you got to do work on your home turf, buddy, and you got to change those Michiganders' minds. You know what I mean? That's on you if you want to live there. I like people having the option of voting with their feet. I guess is what I'm saying.
Move.
We can all find our personal, Steve-istan or Dagestan, state, that caters to our whims and needs and desires. I just hope it's not Arizona or some god awful place like that.
Yeah. They can have Arizona.
No offense, Arizonians. It just seems hot and unpleasant.
The left can have Arizona too. I'm good with that.
Yeah. Currently, I mean, it is one of those places that's kind of mixed. Like, it's got some really cool ass, vibes, but it also has some pretty gay ass vibes. But it's right there next to like California and Texas, so I guess it's kind of like the middle ground.
Yeah, I mean, you get the more freedom of probably like less strict gun laws like Texas or something like that. And then you get a lot of the wannabe gay Californian stuff. So I guess it's kind of a good like mix of both, and that's terrible. That's the worst kind of mix.
What I like about the Western states,
it's like literally Brokeback Mountain kind of thing.
What I like about the Western states is like how there's just like this like you can go out there with like $20 and get like hundreds of acres of land and just in the middle of fucking nowhere, just like do whatever the fuck you want.
Until the federal government takes it from you.
Well, yeah, I mean you can't bring other people. I'm just saying you can like live in an RV in the desert for next to nothing. But I mean it just seems awful. But I like the idea that the concept is there. But that's why. Sorry, I'm scrolling through news here. I'll bring this up.
Okay.
I had to take a unintentional pause. I scroll by this Lil Wayne photo. And I was like, oh God.
He's like added more tattoos.
Isn't he a Trump supporter?
Probably.
Yes.
I think he is.
Because he got pardoned by him, I think, the first administration.
My God, like...
Oh, you're right, he did. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Just all the, I can't believe all the tattoos he has.
Because I remember it happening, so I'm like, I guess I'm glad, but Ross is still in prison. Come on.
Yeah, well, he pardoned Lil Wayne and Kodak Black first, before he did.
So speaking of gun laws, this happened the other day in Dag's wonderful state. Yeah, maybe.
We are unveiling the Second Amendment summer tax holiday. So from Memorial Day till the 4th of July, you can get your ammunition, your firearms, and your accoutrements tax-free in the state of Florida.
Oh, cool. That's real. That's not a. I always got to ask.
That's
now.
real. That's
real.
real.
Okay.
That's real.
Okay.
That's real. Yes.
So
it seemed
Dag,
not funny enough to be AI.
Dag,
Yeah.
I might come down and hang out for a couple days to buy some
Hell
ammo
yeah.
and guns and stuff.
Save that 7%. It's significant.
Yeah.
You know? That's $70 on $1,000 gun, man.
Yeah.
Nothing to sneeze at. You know, in
Yeah.
case you guys couldn't do basic math. We're gonna put it in perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, we are American, I guess. So I mean,
I
just want to buy the
purchase
ammo,
something
man.
new to lose in a lake.
we're not like Vivek, you know. We watch Saved by the Bell, so we probably can't do basic math.
I did not watch Saved by the Bell. That was before my time or after my time.
It was kind of in between. Like I could have missed that boat, but I don't know. I guess culturally everything was like I don't know if it was like that for you, Dag, because like I know everybody else maybe because you're in Florida it was different, but in like Alabama, like the South or whatever, you know, the cultural stuff was like always 10 years behind, so we would be getting whatever was like 10 years ago basically was popular at the
it was
not quite that, but like you know what I'm saying, like it was we were a little like half a decade.
No, I get it. You're like Saudi Arabia or some shit. Yeah. It's sort of so when my parents got divorced, I was and then like we moved. I was like 10 or 11, and moving from the country to Tampa was like an enormous culture shock. And probably a lot of it just city versus what have you. But yeah, I mean, just dude, I like soccer was something that I sort of knew existed, you know, but like nobody played soccer. Like all the kids played football or baseball. You know what I mean? Like little
the gays
leagues
played
like
soccer.
That. Yeah, dude. And then when I moved here and everybody like soccer was the thing, I was like, what the fuck is this? Yeah, dude. And then Star Wars was the other big thing. I'd never heard of fucking Star Wars until I moved. And then everyone was into Star Wars. All the kids at my new school were all into Star Wars and shit. I'd never seen any of the movies. You know what I mean? I'm serious. I might not be exaggerating when I say I'd never heard of it. You know, like it wasn't on my radar at all.
Wow.
So that was a thing. Now, obviously, that's a little beyond the 10-year mark for being behind culturally.
Well, see, that's probably just your family probably didn't care for it kind of thing. Like,
oh yeah, dude. My parents like they hated like Star Trek. You know, like they like when it would come on, they go, oh god, and they called it Star Trek, of course, because they weren't into it. And they called what was the guy, the bartender guy? They called him. They're like, oh, the buttheads. They called them buttheads because they had the ridge in the middle of their head. Yeah. Dude, my parents were not into sci-fi. They were not into black television, so something like Family Matters or Fresh Prince, never in a million years.
See, it's funny that my parents like they were always they were pretty they were pretty you know racist about it. You know, they were like, you know, yeah you don't need to be acting like no black boy or whatever kind of stuff. But they would love to watch like Family Matters and that kind of stuff.
Oh really?
Sanford and Son was a great show.
Sanford and Son was an excellent show.
Yeah, my dad used to quote Sanford and Son, so he must have watched it. He didn't seem that opposed to it, but that was a little bit older. Maybe it was cleaner. It wasn't even that it was like black television, really. It's that they didn't want anything that might have seen. My parents weren't like prudes or squares like at all, but but once the kids were born, they were very like strict about like the content we took in. So like it was more about things being like clean versus raunchy. Like, you know, they wouldn't let me watch The Simpsons and shit, you know.
Yeah. Wow.
So it was just
that explains a lot, Dag.
I
feel like I know you better now.
Yeah, that had to be when we got a little older. And then like when I found out like all the shit my parents used to do before we were born, like partying or massive crimes.
That's
you know,
probably why they that's probably
Massive
why they
crimes?
cleaned up.
Oh, dude, yeah, my mom was like 8.5 months pregnant with me in the fucking courtroom, where my dad was like facing years. He got off, but he was facing like years, dude. And mom was like,
What?
They finally got scared straight, I guess. You know, like, they were like,
yeah, it was part of it. And then once the kids come along, you kind of have a reason to not go to prison. You know what I mean? My dad's still alive. I'm not going to get into the specifics of that.
Okay.
But I mean, it was non-violent crime. Let me say that. You know, I mean, you know me enough to know what it was.
Oh, okay.
You know, or something along those lines.
That's back when it was harsher punishments for that stuff too.
Yeah, this would have been the mid '80s. Yeah, no, it's. I'll tell you guys a story at some point, but I can't while certain people are still alive. So. But yeah, but I remember when, like, you know, when I got to be over 18, and you know, I'd be out fishing or camping with my dad. He'd get a little hammered. He'd start telling me some of like these stories, you know, like before I was born and shit. And I was like, oh my goodness, you know, like I see where I get it from, you know. But yeah, pretty nothing.
I mean, it's in, like, you know, a lot of stuff's in your blood, man. Like, people think they can like outrun it. Like you can't fully outrun it. Like,
well, and I'm always so fascinated on the balance of nature versus nurture as well. Because but when I'm a kid, my dad isn't telling me these stories, but I am rolling around, you know, camping and fishing and stuff like that with him. And so certain concepts like be cool, keep your head down, you know what I mean, watch your back, that all comes up, you know what I mean? And then, you know, maybe the vibe of that teaching that I got, you know, because your dad as a man, right? That's your image of what a man's supposed to be. And the older I get, the more I'm just like, how am I becoming my dad to a T? You know what I mean? It's not like I saw it's not like I saw this stuff and I feel like it just entered me on a very conscious level, but maybe it's very subconscious, you know. But then there's also shit like, okay, I didn't really know my grandfather on my mom's side and really on my dad's side that well either. But they were both Italian mechanics, and like I ended up working on cars, you know, as like my like trade, you know what I mean? Like that just feels right, you know. But I didn't like know that. You know,
I feel like I got a mix. Like I'm a mix of my granddad and my dad. Like I got like both kind of aspects of them, because my dad's really smart. He's a mechanic. You know, he's into that kind of stuff. And then I, you know, was really into, you know, computer stuff and really like math. Like my grandfather. My grandfather was a huge math buff. So I kind of got both of that, like those kind of things. And there's some stuff where I'm like, this is me being like my granddad, you know, because I'm interested in like the stock market and this kind of stuff. My dad could care less about that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then then other stuff, it's like, you know, my parenting style is very much my dad. Like I basically am parenting like my dad. And I'm like, oh my God, I just sound just like my dad. Whenever I'm like,
that would make sense, obviously, coming from your dad, if you know whoever you know you're learning to parent from, you know.
Which in some ways is good, in some ways bad. It's like, oh man,
yep, I get that same shit. I'm like, okay, I got to learn from my dad's mistakes and try to branch off in those departments. You know what I mean? So your grandfather in the stock market, did you know that he was into that when you were a kid?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, he literally sat me down. So this is the interesting thing. He sat me down.
Oh, that's dope.
And then this is where like the first lessons kind of learned about this stuff, because he sat me down and he was like, look, here's like, he gave me like a CD statement. Like, okay, I've got a CD, and you know, this is earning me, you know, back then it was like a lot more. It was like 5-6% interest or whatever. Like, so
back when you could save money and earn interest.
Yeah. So he's like, here's my CD. I'm getting like 6% interest, you know, a year. You know, and this is what the totals out to. Look at where I started, and look where this is at now. This is like the power of you know, this. And then all of a sudden he opens up his stock market portfolio. He's like, yeah, here I bought Verizon stock. I'm gonna hold it, you know, for so long. I'm making dividends on that stock. Like that was kind of just like what he just brought me into that. And you know, we'd play chess together and stuff like that. And
That's
that was,
awesome.
That was kind of
Yeah, man.
Yeah, he was definitely like the kind of like it was that old Southern gentleman kind of vibe, and he would kind of brought me and taught me a lot of stuff, especially whenever my parents were off like doing whatever. Probably having their getaway trips like we want to do now. now that I'm a parent, it's funny because it's like we just want to be able to get away and
bring someone in to teach the kids about finances while you're gone. Make it doubly productive. Dude, I wish because I didn't get any financial what have you. Because
no, I got
my dad was a little more fly by the seat of your pants. I'm like, oh man, if like my cousins who had a very conservative, financially wise family, they were also like that, you know what I mean? But they also they went to college or in fraternities and all that shit. But not the crazy party fraternities, the nerdy members of young Republican fraternities, but they do very well for themselves. But whenever I also see them at family functions, they seem really bored, and I'm like, oh, what do you do? And they're like, it's something you don't want. It's not.
Probably can't talk about it.
Well, no, it's just so you can't talk about it because nobody cares, or it's so boring. It's I do something for international mergers for some stupid fucking conglomerate company,
business.
or it's just they make a shit ton of money, I'm sure,
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. There's also big. I'm like, I couldn't do that, dude. I wouldn't be happy, doing some shit like that. I would not be happy.
Oh, that kind of stuff. No, the business mergers and all this kind of stuff like that. No, that would be that. I would hate myself.
Have to wear a tie to work or some shit. Oh,
yeah, no.
Fuck, dude. I don't know.
Yeah, I would not do good in a tie tie type job that would probably.
There's kind of a line, or I don't know, a Venn diagram or something where you sort of got to make decisions in life. You can't just say I want it my way all the time. You know what I mean? Unless you really have the power to do that. But it's at some point, you have to try harder to improve yourself. You know what I mean? Do better for your family, right? But at what point does that mean, fuck it, I got to go work in, a tie and in a cubicle and this and that to provide for my family versus doing something more enjoyable. You know what I mean? So I whatever people can craft a life to be able to do that, I don't know. Okay. So with me personally, the work that I do is very much to appease my I don't know, my ADD, you know what I mean? It's not rigorous schedule. I make my own schedule with the farm. I get to work on a bunch of little projects, but then sometimes I'm sort of on myself fuck, but I could go work more and make more money. And, is that better? Or, then I just end up being stressed, but is that just a pussy way out to not do that work? But then we're paying our bills and we're doing good. So what the fuck can I complain about? Who am I trying to impress? Or, but I can't get too complacent, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing is now,
always hustle harder.
If you don't have investments now, today's the perfect day to start.
Yeah, man, it's that tree thing.
Yeah.
Planting a tree 20 years ago. Yeah, man. Investments or side hustles or whatever.
That's what happened when I first bought Bitcoin. I was like, I don't have any money. I have to do something to get some, try something. And so
thank God you went with that instead of, I don't know. I was thinking about the other day, all the different coins that were out there back in the day.
You could have
Litecoin still a thing? Litecoin. We'll say
yeah.
Litecoin's still okay. It's okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's
Ethereum went banging for a while, and I'm glad I sold it. I sold when it was at its highest point. I made some good money on Ethereum.
I think Ethereum was only popular because of the NFT stuff, and since the NFT stuff is dead, I mean, there's not really because nobody understood what to do with the NFTs. It's instead of doing what this is what annoys me. Instead of doing what they should have done with NFTs, which would have been having a digital library of collect of items or collectibles. If you
or ownership tokens, tokenization, you know what I mean, for things like deeds, you know what I mean, or important shit, you know what I mean.
Yes.
Yeah, you could 86
land
hall.
ownership. Yeah. The whole land ownership and the this kind of stuff could all be tracked on an NFT instead of being all that kind
No,
of
it's
stuff.
stupid
could've-
mouse pictures or what the fuck
Yeah.
ever it was.
Yeah.
I heard theories they did that intentionally to like ruin it and make it a laughing stock, but you know that's
Yeah.
the more conspiratorial. What
Well,
have you?
I-
but-
you know, I wouldn't
tend to
doubt it,
believe
though.
I tend
Me
to
either.
believe it.
Yeah, it's
Because, because it would be a useful thing, like even even just in like in something like video games. Think about this, like the most of the stuff like you're purchasing in the games right now you don't own, so if the company decide, if they whenever they move on to a new game and all this kind of stuff, you don't own anything, so they can just shut down all your stuff,
Yeah.
your account, your
Yep.
everything. They have a full ownership of that. You
Yeah.
have no ownership.
You
of your
literally don't
account
own
or
anything.
Yeah.
You won't own your video game and you'll be happy.
Well, and that's
Yeah.
why, like, I was with my boys.
But they should be like NFTs. Those should all be NFTs that you own.
you
I
could
should have
sell.
Yeah, you can sell if you want to. If I want to sell the game, I could sell the game digitally through the ownership tokens.
Yeah.
But
Well, I'd heard some.
Ooh,
So
there
I know
we go,
that
Trey.
we
Let's
like to
get a
argue
business
about
going.
we like to
Start
argue
doing
about
that.
IP on the show
you
a
can't
bit.
because they kill it. Like if you try to do that kind of stuff, they like either gamers hate it or because they think that you're doing the funny picture thing. They don't understand that NFT means I own the thing.
Mhm.
It's not
Yeah.
not
Well,
and that's why
you can
from-
write in. Sorry,
Go
go
on.
ahead.
No.
Well, I was just saying, like, there's interesting shit you can write into, like, because it can also be like a contract too. So, like,
yeah.
so, like, because you guys know how I feel about IP. You know what I mean? And
you're wrong.
there's like,
Okay.
there's shit like this where it's like, okay, this can sort of solve this. Okay, so let's say like a painting. Okay, let's say you're the artist, you make a painting, you sell the painting. If that person then resells the painting, like you don't get any cut of that or whatever. But it's like you could have like, let's say like the ownership token is through like an NFT. You can have like in that, like every time somebody sells that, the artist gets 10%. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm just like as an example, you do that a million other ways. But like there's a lot of shit like where like IP suddenly becomes like not such like an issue on like either side. It can actually be enforced in like a logical way. And it's something where, because that's the whole thing with like IP is like what I would say is like copying isn't stealing, but with that NFT, it proves that you are the original owner. So it sort of takes that away where something is just labeled as just a copy or the original.
Authenticator.
Yeah.
Like,
I think it's brilliant.
basically signature.
Yeah, there's a lot.
I think it's a brilliant way to
with
do it.
Yeah. Just because it's it's an enforceable, like contracts can go along with it, smart contracts, etc. God, I'm so rusty on this shit. I haven't talked about fucking like crypto shit in like 3 years. But it's there's just a lot of shit that people that are way smarter than me can figure out to make it work. But it kind of sucks that you can't bring up NFTs without it being a big joke now, because
well, because you had Trump doing the NFTs, like, and it's like you had all these people throwing out NFTs just to make a quick buck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and they weren't.
Yeah,
they
riding that wave. Nobody knew what an NFT was, but they're
Yeah.
like, oh, you're gonna buy it
It's like,
'cause
hey,
pretty."
here's a funny picture of me in this cartoonish phase, or like.
I mean, and that's why, like, I went back to buy like physical copies of like records, because like the digital copies that I own on my phone, I don't really own. It's like, or
Yeah.
you buy a book on Audible, and they can go through that, they can change that at any point in time, so it's not the original. Like, I mean, there's been so many times where I've gone, I had an album that I bought years ago that the band had a conflict with the label, so the label took down the album, and you can't get it anymore. Although I paid for it, I can't access it ever again because they got into this conflict. Well, it's like, but I own it. I paid you guys $20 for this album, and now I literally can't listen to it anymore. So it's like I had to wait for the re-release, and then I had to rebuy that, or I had to buy it on the physical copy now. So that just soured me to anything like buying any digital copy of anything anymore.
Yeah, it's like I pay for like a digital subscription service, sure, because
Yeah.
I guess I'm not buying my music on Spotify. I'm just paying them
Yeah.
every month to let me listen to whatever I want. But yeah, I definitely get what you're saying. If you purchased an album, You know what I mean? On like a digital thing, and then you can't access it. Or like Audible, you are kind of buying those audiobooks. What if Audible just ceases to exist? Oh, we went out of business. Bye. You know what I mean? I've got fucking 60 books on there that I bought.
Yeah.
So that'd be a total bummer, especially the ones I haven't listened to yet. I'm probably not going to go back and listen to all the Why Lincoln Was Evil books again. They were good. Tom DeLorenzo, I think, was the author.
Probably a good one listen kind of thing.
Yeah. I can't even remember all the examples of why he's a horrible person, but I just remember listening to them and going, "Wow, that was pretty shitty."
Mm-hmm.
I get the gist.
It's interesting though how they there's I don't know, suckering people into it, but there's that model now where you're basically renting, but you're saying you're buying something. Like you don't really ever own it. Like if it's a digital copy, you don't ever own it.
Just purchasing access to.
Yeah.
Because again, if the platform you're buying it on goes, then.
Or there's been so many cases of them changing books that are written 20, 30 years ago. Now they're changing the actual book or changing something in the book. And now you can't, you don't know what copy you have. Yeah, there you go. See? Okay, what happened there?
So I guess somebody jumped the White House fence. Remember that? I feel like that happens from time to time. Was it Trump's first term that it happened a couple times and somebody actually got up to like within the front of the White House or something?
Didn't somebody actually get in the White House at one point? I thought somebody.
Yeah, I think that's what they said. But then I think that then of course Justin would be the ultimate fact checker. Fact checkers were like, well, technically it was just an alcove in the front or something. So I guess it depends on how you define in the White House. But yeah,
it's probably like the fence out front before, not even the inner fence, because there's like an outer and then like an inner fence. So they probably just.
I'm shocked they don't have like gun turrets, man.
Yeah, man.
Somebody jumps that fence. They should go
that's,
down.
It's an optical nightmare, is why. Because if you do that, you automatically you just look, whether you mean to or not, you look like a dictatorial regime.
It didn't even. Yeah. There is some appearances there that you sort of want to seem halfway. Our people love us. We're government of the people. We don't need to protect ourselves from them.
Well, was it his first term, like during the inauguration, like he got out of the limo and walked down the street, or was it this one? I can't remember which one it was.
Yeah, it was the last one.
The first one, yeah.
Well, because they had the whole protest and everything during the last one. Like this one, I don't think there was really many protests at all.
They didn't publicize
now
any
there's
protests.
Now there's protests though, apparently. This is what people are doing when they're going by driving by the protest. Ice baby. And they're going by these are the Mexican national protests, basically. It's really funny that like even as someone who may be more open to like allowing more people in here and everything, you got to admit the fact that if they're gonna come here, they should want to adopt the American flag instead of holding up a flag from Mexico, like any flag, any other flag, like Israel, whatever,
especially Israel.
But all of them, all the other flags.
No, you get the half Israel, half American flag. You seen that one? You just fly that one. That's your loophole.
Oh my god.
Yeah, look, dude,
once, and it was one of those like obviously he is one of those guys who clearly he's like he believes in the sort of like chosen people thing, and so he's like America, Israel kind of thing.
We're all chosen.
Yeah.
For different reasons.
Yeah.
Okay, and again, I'm no problem. Have your flag of origin like in your home or in your garage or in your rumpus room or hanging on a pair of boxing gloves from your rearview mirror. I don't care, but you're right. I mean, it does seem odd to go waving at a protest. I gotta admit, I don't really believe any protests are like not funded and like organized like for a reason too. So I'm like, I hate to judge a group of people based on protesters. You know, now the protesters, sure, but I hate to judge a group of people based on protesters. That's all.
I know
but
some
I
of
agree
them are organic, Dag, but like not. I think that they blow it up. Like I do think that like obviously government agencies or whatever something
or NGOs or whatever. You know, like like when you see it. Just there's a college, and look at all these college kids out there protesting of like their own volition, but there's like catered food. It's like, okay, like that's somebody like organized that shit, you know what I mean, one way or another, or is supporting it or dumping money into it. You know, like,
even during the Floyd riots, like the people were speculating on the pallet of bricks. They should have been speculating on like how how many buses did it take to get all these people. Like it's like it's not just the bricks. Like the bricks, like are secondary.
Showing up with their pre-made signs.
Yeah. They're signs that were professionally printed and still spelled wrong.
Hey man, Kinko's, they have a bulk sale.
Yeah, true, man. If you're gonna protest, do it smart. And then even like just organic actual protesters, I'm always like, what kind of loser protests? So like I don't take them too seriously usually either, you know.
Yeah.
If you have time to protest, you
well, it was
we're not living the same life
because there was
but during COVID it was.
Yeah, I guess you got nothing but time on your hands.
I think some people take time off though. Like some of like these protests, there was because I know that some people who live toward an area where there are more like Mexican they're really just Mexican nationals living here. Let's be real. But they organized a protest there in the area because they were upset by it, and they decided to not go to work that day, and then take work off that day and go to do the protest there. So it was a day without immigrants or whatever kind of thing is what they called it. So
that'd be awesome.
One of those,
like, what's wrong with
that? Without lawyers,
it's not gonna affect the group that you want it to affect. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, they're gonna call you on that bluff. That's all I'm saying.
That's like all the ugly lesbians saying they're going on a sex strike. It's like, okay, cool. It doesn't affect me at all. Go for it.
Yeah, that only affects other ugly lesbians. Yeah, you tell them, sister. Same thing. It's like, some people miss the immigrants, but again, the minds you're trying to change, that's not the tactic. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Like,
so when lesbians go on sex strike, do you think the U-Haul sales and rentals go up or down?
Probably. That's a good one.
We're gonna need some we're gonna need some data on that one.
Huh.
I feel like it would go up because I would feel like some of the problems would arise.
Well, and none of them are on the actual strike. I mean, they're hoes. What do you expect out of hoes?
Mm-hmm. As long as they get rid of their phallus-shaped dildos, then I'm cool with it. But you can't be on sex strike for men and be using dildos that look like men's penises. That's all I'm saying.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, there we go. There's the next pushback on it. I like that a lot.
Speaking of
you gotta
strips,
go with the show title.
Speaking of strips,
that's what that's about.
We apparently Trump said we're gonna own the Gaza Strip. So I think we make it like the Vegas Strip, and then it can be exactly what we envision it.
The only reason the Palestinians want to go back to Gaza is they have no alternative. It's right now a demolition site. This is just a demolition site. Virtually every building is down. They're living under fallen concrete that's very dangerous and very precarious. They instead can occupy all of a beautiful area with homes and safety, and they can live out their lives in peace and harmony instead of having to go back and do it again. The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it too. We'll own it and be responsible for dismantling all of the dangerous unexploded bombs and other weapons on the site level the site and get rid of the destroyed buildings, level it out, create an economic development that will supply unlimited numbers of jobs and housing for the people of the area.
See,
I don't know
I'm
how I
not. I'm
feel
not
about that one.
thinking. I'm not thinking he's too happy about this, to be honest.
Oh,
Like this-
BB?
Oh,
He's
BB.
looking old.
Yeah, he's
So that okay, again, can we clarify for
he
Dag?
looks older than Trump.
Was that AI or was that real?
That is real. No, that is real.
That's
is
real.
Oh wow.
He's claiming we're gonna take over the Gaza Strip, and that's gonna be supposedly, I guess, occupied by the U.S.
It's gonna be the Atlantic City of the Middle East.
Yeah, there we go. So what I find funny is like all the bitching Israel's done about all the tunnels in Gaza. It's like, do they not remember like New York City and tunnels and tunnel Jews and all that stuff? Like, I just find that kind of ironic that they're bitching about tunnels when that whole thing happened.
I don't. Oh God, I feel so like conflicted about this because, like, I don't want Israel to have it. You know what I mean?
I want both sides to lose, right? I want both sides to lose. They both suck.
And like, you know, the way Trump talks about it, he does make it sound so lovely. But one thing that I definitely have learned, and I think we should all learn, is that us occupying places in the Middle East isn't a good idea. Oh man.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm gonna have to think
agree.
about this one.
But you know, then again, if he does what he says he's doing, and you know, it becomes like like Jay said, the Atlantic City of the Middle East. Like,
I have to know. But okay, so one thing I'd have to know is what would the general vibe of, you know, the Palestinians or the people that live there now? What would, like, if they are like legit, like, hell yeah, that's dope. You know what I mean? I'd be more inclined to say, give it a shot. But if it's just going to be us going there and the people who are there also don't want us doing that, then it's going to be the same fucking problems, right? You know, that we
But,
deal with.
okay, so
So, like,
who would you rather have as your overlord, Trump or Bibi? Like, at
Well,
that
I
point
mean,
in time, like,
I'm not packing my bags to move to Israel right now.
No, but you know what I'm saying.
That answer or that
Yeah.
question answers itself.
You know what I'm saying, though, right? Like, you want the guy that like just indiscriminately bombs you every once in a while, or you want somebody that's gonna be like, yeah, we'll build you some houses and kind of take over the security.
But if you just know the past like couple decades of like,
Oh yeah, I know.
you know, it's
I
like
know.
the American government has said they were going to do things like that in the Middle East several times and end up just bombing them indiscriminately. So, you know, is it just going to be a continuation, or, you know, if because ultimately you can't occupy an area where the people don't want you there.
Than the old
you know,
owners, I guess.
Yeah, or is it going to be, you know, new boss same as the old boss? Who knows? You know,
Did they bomb him indiscriminately, or do we sell bombs to Israel to bomb indiscriminately? There's a very big difference.
Well, both. I mean, I'm not even talking about like the Palestinians, like per se, but like the, let's say, you know, the Iraqis, you know, other people in the area who maybe have had their weddings bombed by the U.S. Indiscriminately. You know, so I'm just saying, like, you know, if you just look around, you can say, well, maybe they don't hold up their end of the bargain when they say they're going to come in and bring blue jeans
or U.S. citizens that have been bombed in cafes by our first black president.
Look, I think.
Oh, you're a fan of Obama?
I think,
Name
I
7
think
countries he's bombed.
No, see, here's the terrorists we need to be going after. The state police are after a suspect for stealing 100,000 eggs from an egg distributor trailer.
Wow.
Oh, word.
Apparently retail value $40,000 worth of eggs. See, this is why we're
Pete
having
and Jerry's Organics. That's a that ain't no. That's
wow. I didn't see this one.
That's not Tyson truckers.
Yeah. Yo, I noticed. I went to Walmart yesterday and I noticed the egg aisle after we talked about it the other day because I don't usually notice that. And yeah, dude, just regular old eggs were like $7 a dozen, and the shelves were quite bare.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a picture going around of two people in Costco with carts completely stacked all the way up of like thousands of eggs.
What's that meme with the aristocratic vampires where it's like me looking down on people that don't have their own chickens when egg prices are up or something?
Yeah, man. People who haven't figured out that you still got to have your own chickens are pretty retarded.
Because democracy basically means government by the people, of the people, for the people. But the people are retarded.